Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Studio stories. Firstly, Ethiopian politician in exile. Lidetu Ayalew is under fire for his remarks about the armed movement in the Amhara region. What did he say? Secondly, ombudsman, Ethiopian ombudsman in Tigray is under pressure. It is not being allowed to work. The ombudsman handles complaints against government officials and complaints of the government officials too, who are dismissed, who are terminated. What is the reason? Why is there conflict between the ombudsman and the interim government of Tigray? What happened? Let's start with Lidetu Ayalew. Who is he? Lidetu is a politician. The man was a very strong opposition politician when Meles Zenawi was in power, and he is from Amhara region, by the way. He is from Lalibela, if I'm not wrong. Lidetu worked as opposition during EPRDF. And when PM Abiy came to power, I think he worked with PM Abiy. Like other politicians, PM Abiy was welcomed from across the political spectrum. Later, we saw that PM Abiy's supporters distanced themselves from the Prime Minister. Lidetu also developed differences with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And he decided to go abroad, but he had to take the plea, the excuse of being ill. So he went abroad while he was under pressure. Legal action had also been launched against him. So during Tigray war, if I'm not wrong, he fled Ethiopia on medical grounds that he was going abroad for medical treatment. Since then, he has been out of Ethiopia. He did not return. He only appears in interviews. This is what his political career is now. He speaks on how things can improve in Ethiopia. By the way, senior Ethiopian politicians want change in Ethiopia by not becoming part of the change. Lidetu abroad, Jawar remains abroad as well. Gaidu under Gaichu has fled Ethiopia. Then ONLF leaders based in Kenya. So all these parties want change. They say they were betrayed by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy. But none of them is in Ethiopia to lead the movement for change, because they know if they come to Ethiopia, they'll be put in prison. Lidetu lashed out in an interview at armed movement in the Amhara region. He used the term fascism for it. So what Fano is doing in the Amhara region is fascism, according to Lidetu Ayalew. Amhara nationalism is turning into fascism. This is what he meant. Can we call Fano's movement Amhara nationalism? Perhaps this term does not do justice to what Fano wants. Fano is not fighting for an Amhara country. It wants Ethiopia. It wants entire Ethiopia. It wants to reach Addis Ababa. So we cannot call it a strictly Amhara nationalist armed movement. Anyway, Lidetu Lidetu's brother was kidnapped too in the Amhara region, if I remember. He was detained by security forces. The man believes in peaceful struggle. He believes in political struggle. But now people are asking questions that if he really believes in political struggle, why is that he is not in Ethiopia? If he is an alternative to what Fano is doing, he should be in Ethiopia to lead the peaceful democratic movement of public uprising. It's not possible in Ethiopia, perhaps. Anyone suspected of being in preparation to launch a movement against Ethiopia cannot be out of prison. The government will definitely imprison them. Lidetu staying abroad preaches peaceful political struggle. Fano fighters say that, by the way, I think there should be some middle ground. Yes, armed resistance movement cannot bring about any change in a few days or weeks. People are dying, region destabilized. At the same time, if you hope that one day a peaceful political struggle will start, Zimbabwe will be forced to listen to the people. Maybe that's not possible too in the present scenario. So something in between is needed. These armed groups should be smart to use their clout which they have now. They can achieve their objectives through multiple means, not just through use of force. Lidetu has been criticized by Fano fighters. People are accusing him of being basically a TPLF asset. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian ombudsman is complaining that Tigray interim government is not allowing it to operate, to work freely in Tigray, especially in Mekelle. The ombudsman has filed a case against the Tigray interim government, saying that interim government officials are obstructing its work in Mekelle. Ombudsman, it's a sort of accountability oriented organization. It's a government body. It addresses the complaints against government officials. And in recent months, Tigray interim government it dismissed several former security officials who did not participate in the war. Those security officials have filed appeals at Ombudsman. Ombudsman is asking the Tigray government to clarify, saying on what grounds these people were dismissed from service. They cannot be dismissed from service just because they did not participate in the war. Tigray government is not responding to the Ombudsman. Rather, it's threatening the Ombudsman. So Ombudsman has filed a case against the Tigray interim government. Basically, no independent institutions are allowed to operate in Ethiopia. Institutions of accountability, judiciary, media too, though media is heavily biased, either pro or anti groups. That is why Ombudsman is under pressure. Let's see how this legal battle ends between the two sides. Thank you for watching.